Hi there. My name is Jennifer, and I am coming to you from the Grandview Heights Public Library, where I am a children's librarian and the Youth Services Outreach Coordinator. And it is so great to be here with you again, and I have some book recommendations for the younger kids, all the way from birth up to about third grade. So I have a whole bunch of things, some great new books, some of my favorite books, and we will go ahead and jump right in. First, I'm going to talk to you about a board book series here. And this one is called Book o' Beards. And there's also Book o' Hats and Book o' Teeth, which I don't have. So these are written by Cleo Lemke and Lincoln Letts, and they are so much fun for the entire family. They are what are called wearable books. And you'll see what I mean when you open them up. This one's the beard one. So you can open it, hold it up to your face, and see what you would look like as a sailor with this beard. Here's a cowboy. So as you can see, they are just tons and tons of fun. Very simple theme here. And very interactive, definitely bound to be a hit for the entire family. Baby might want to sit in front of a mirror so he or she can see what they look like wearing the different beards. And we can look inside the hats, same idea, but you're gonna put it up by your head. Definitely a lot of fun for the entire family. So Book o' Beards, Book o' Hats, and also Book o' Teeth by Cleo Lemke and Lincoln Letts. All right, we're going to move on to some picture books now. This picture book is called The Best Place in the World by Petr Horacek. So this is the story of Hare. And Hare absolutely loves the meadow where he lives, but he's not positive that it's the best place in the entire world. Well, there's only one way to figure that out. So Hare decides to go on an adventure and talks to the wise old owl, who suggests that Hare look around the world, see what kinds of different places are out there, and then figure out if actually the meadow is the best place in the world. So Hare does just that. He sets off and he explores. He explores a stream. He explored some fields, the mountains, the desert, beaches, all kinds of places all around the world, and makes many, many new friends along the way. Now, all of these places are beautiful, and they're all very different. They're beautiful in their own way. And so Hare finally, after traveling all over the world, comes to the conclusion that the best place in the world is the place where your friends are. And Hare discovers that for him, that's everywhere, because he meets many, many new friends all over the world. So some very, very beautiful illustrations inside. And here's Hare with all of the new friends that he met all over the world. So everywhere is the best place as long as your friends are there with you. The best place in the world. This next picture book is one of my favorites. It's by Peter H. Reynolds, and it's called The Word Collector. So this is the story of Jerome here, and Jerome collects words. So people collect all kinds of things, coins and stamps, baseball cards, teddy bears, all kinds of things to collect, and Jerome collects words. He collects words that he hears. He collects words that he sees and words that he reads. He collects all kinds of words, big words, small words, short words, sweet words, and words that are multi-syllable and sound like songs when you say them. He loves words so much that he fills scrapbooks and scrapbooks with his words. You can see right here. All kinds of words. Well, one day, Jerome is walking carrying all of his scrapbooks when he trips and all of the words go flying out of the scrapbooks into the air and become all jumbled together. There were long words beside short words. There were sweet words beside sad words, dreamy words, all kinds of words all jumbled together. And so Jerome discovers the magic and the power of all of those words by stringing them together and making poems, making songs, all kinds of things with all of these words. And the more words that he knew, the more that he could use them to express how he was feeling, to express what he was thinking. And his words all go flying out into the world, and he sets them free so that all other people can discover the magic and the power that words can hold. The Word Collector, Peter H. Reynolds, one of my favorites. The next one I have is one of my more favorite newer picture books. It's called Milo Imagines the World. It's written by Matt de la Peña, and the pictures are by Christian Robinson. So Milo, you see Milo right here. He's a little boy who goes on an adventure once a month with his sister on the train. Here they are getting on. So each time they go, Milo feels like what he calls a shook up soda. Can you imagine, like, if you shake a soda, what do you think is kind of like feeling like inside there? He's feeling nervous. He feels confused. He's worried, and he's full of love. So to keep himself busy on the train as they are riding, Milo imagines, he sees all kinds of people get on, and he draws in his sketchbook what he thinks the lives of some of the other passengers is like. For example, here he sees a boy get on the train, and the boy has on brand new white tennis shoes and a nice suit and tie. So Milo imagines and draws in his sketchbook, this boy must be living in a castle. He gets to ride in a carriage, and he gets to go home to his castle every day with maids and chefs and all kinds of people there to help him out. He sees a woman get on, and she is wearing a wedding gown. And so he imagines she is going to her wedding, having a big ceremony in a church where she gets married to a man, and they are pronounced husband and wife and float away in a balloon. So he sees all of these people get on and sketches in a sketchbook to keep him busy as he and his sister are riding along. He sees a group of breakdancers get on, and they dance from car to car, and he imagines when they get off, they go through an electronics store where there are lots of eyes following every move they make as they go through the store and out into the fancy neighborhood. So Milo and his sister finally get off of the subway, and it turns out that they are visiting their mother, who is in prison. And they go there once a month on a Saturday. And ahead of him, when he gets off, he notices the boy with the white shoes and the suit. And Milo realizes that you can never really know someone just by looking at their face. You don't know their story. And so he thinks about the stories that he has drawn in his sketchbook, and he reimagines what those people's stories might be. Maybe the woman getting married, maybe her story was different. Let's see. Maybe her wedding looked like this. And maybe the breakdancers actually live in that fancy neighborhood. So we don't really know what's going on with anyone just by looking at their faces. Milo likes to think, what did everyone think when they saw him on the train? So it's a really great story. It's a great gentle reminder that every person you see has something going on in his or her life that you know nothing about. and that we should not make assumptions about anybody. And it also reminds us that we are usually not alone when it comes to those tougher things in life. So it's a great story. Milo imagines the world. My next story is called Catch That Chicken. It's by Atanuke and illustrated by Angela Brooksbank. So this is the story of Lami, and she is the best chicken catcher in her village. She is great at it. She is fast. Her sister Sadia is a wonderful speller. Her brother Bilal is brave with all of the bulls. And her friend Fatima is really fast at braiding hair. But Lami is the best chicken catcher in the village. But one day she's chasing a chicken and she chases one into the baobab tree. And she loses her balance and she falls and she hurts her ankle. Now she can't chase those chickens anymore. But when Lami is sad about that, Nana Nadia reminds Lami that it isn't just quick feet that catch chickens, but quick thinking as well. So Lami thinks of a way to make the chickens come to her. And she is still the best chicken catcher in the village. So there are just beautiful illustrations here. Here's Lami chasing those chickens. There's that baobab tree. And everyone is good at his or her own thing. So it's also a great peek into Nigerian village life, and it reminds us that we all have many talents. Catch that chicken. I've got another picture book here called Big Feelings, written by Alexandra Penfold and illustrated by Suzanne Kaufman. So this is a great story. It has a group of young friends. You can see everyone here on the front. They are setting out on a mission. And their mission is to clean up this lot in their neighborhood. It's full of trash, full of weeds. They want to clean it up and make it into a great play space for themselves. But as you can imagine, that happens with any group of people. Friends have some different ideas about how things should be done. And feelings get hurt. Some people feel mad or sad or frustrated. What to do? So we talk through things, sort out the feelings, apologies are made, and the work can continue. See, everyone has some different ideas. And with those different ideas come some pretty big feelings. So as long as they're talked through, then they can come up with a great plan to make a great play space. So just as a reminder that working together in a group sometimes can be tough, can be a little difficult, but it also teaches teamwork and empathy, and also reminds us that we are always better together. Big feelings. My next one is called What the Dinosaurs Did Last Night, a Very Messy Adventure by Raifunsusa Tuma. So, just like it says, it's a great story about some toy dinosaurs. And they have a night full of fun adventures and messy chaos. But the thing I wanted to point out about this particular copy of this book is that it is a Vox book, V-O-X, a Vox book. The library has a really, really great collection of Vox books. And the cool thing about Vox books is they are audiobooks with the book attached, and they have this audio component right here in the front that you can turn on, and you'll see the lights come on to show you it's on, and you can start playing. I don't know if you can hear it.
Books are books that talk.
Yeah.
Vox Books presents What the Dinosaurs Did Last
So it will read along, just like audiobooks do, read along with the book. Don't need any CDs, don't need any computers, so no other equipment is needed, just the book. So those are box books. They are a lot of fun. We have a huge collection of them in the Youth Services Department. Check them out. Now I'm going to move on to some nonfiction books. The first one I have, it's a Sesame Street book. It's called Stay Healthy with Sesame Street, Understanding Coronavirus. It's written by Mary Lynn Dean. So using all of the familiar characters that you know from Sesame Street, including Oscar and Ernie and Elmo and Big Bird, children's questions about the coronavirus are answered. What is coronavirus? What does it look like? How do you get it? What can you do to not get it? How can you stay healthy? Who's out there helping? So it includes some ideas. It also will show all of the characters wearing their masks. It's got a great table of contents there. So it answers some of those questions that kids will have about coronavirus and what we can do, what kinds of people are helping us out. It includes ideas, things that you can do at home to keep you and your family busy. You know, you can draw, play games, eat healthy food, remember to wash your hands. It's very, very concise. It's very informative. It's got a glossary. It's got some links to find out some more information, and addresses the basics of COVID as well as some of the worries that kids have surrounding it. Stay Healthy with Sesame Street, Understanding Coronavirus. It's a great new nonfiction book. And the next nonfiction book I've got, it's actually a series. It's called, let me get the right one here, The Girl Who Cried Wolf. So this series is based off of familiar fairy tales, folk tales, like fables, and reworks them a little bit to help with some different issues. So this one is A Girl Who Cried Wolf by Steve Smallman. They're all written by Steve Smallman, illustrated by Neil Price. Like I said, based on a classic fairy tale or fable to teach about various and important topics. So in this one, there is a princess. She's tired of being a princess. So she decides to convince the shepherd boy to switch places with her. She will be the shepherd, and he can go live in the palace as a prince. And he tells her that the very most important thing about her job is to cry out wolf whenever she might see a wolf come near the sheep. Well, of course, just like in a regular fairy tale, she thinks it might be fun to trick all the townspeople by yelling wolf when there isn't a wolf. So she does that. Except in here, she decides she's going to cry dragon. So she cries dragon so many times, no one believes her. And she cries dragon one more time, and there is one. No one believes her. No one comes to help her. So the shepherd boy, who's in the castle, he hears her crying out. He sees the dragon, and he comes to her aid. So the book also includes at the end some next steps. So some different questions, different discussion points, so you can keep the conversation going with kids about what she could have done differently, why it was wrong that she did that, and that kind of thing. So The Girl Who Cried Wolf. We've also got Snow White and the Very Angry Dwarf. It's a book about anger management. Here's Who's Bad and Who's Good, Little Red Riding Hood, about stranger danger. And the other one I brought today is called You're Not Ugly, Duckling. It's a story about bullying. So there are even more than this in this series of books, all dealing with an important topic, approached in a fun way with a familiar story that most kids will know. And the last book that I have today is called, it's a beginning chapter book. It's called Bink and Golly. It's written by Kate DiCamillo and Allison McGee and illustrated by Tony Fusile. So this is a story of Bink and Golly, two very exuberant friends, one tiny, one tall. They have many, many comical and imagination-fueled adventures throughout this beginning chapter book, and this is actually the first of a series. There are 3. It's got very limited text, as you can see. Lots of illustrations. It's almost a little bit like a graphic novel type of format. And even in each book, there are sort of like chapters, like the different adventures that they go on in each one. So lots of fun illustrations, got some witty humor in it, make them really, really appealing to younger readers. And of course, Kate DiCamillo has written lots of different stories. She wrote Mercy Watson. She wrote The Tale of Despero and The Miraculous Adventure of Edward Tulane. So she is a great, great writer. Bink and Golly, lots and lots of fun. So, thanks for joining me today. Those are the stories and books that I brought to share with you. I hope you found something that looks like a lot of fun to read. And we post these book talks every Tuesday morning, so I hope you'll join us again. Thanks. We'll see you next time.